Okay, here's method number 3 for doing just a few dishes. This is, I think, my favorite method for living in a drought area, and especially living with roommates. If you all agree to do this method together, you can save a lot of water. In this method, you take a little bit of soap and you make soapy water in a container. You see, I only used a little bit of soap, but look how soapy this water is getting because I'm only using a little bit of water. It's getting good foam on there. And then you leave your sponge in there. And you just leave it like that all day. And whenever somebody finishes eating, they bring their plates over, they grab the sponge, they wash out their containers and dishes, and then they stick them in the clean sink. So this sink is, in this method, this sink always stays clean because people just use it for stacking dishes as they wash. If there were some dishes over here when I started out, I would just clear them out and rinse out the sink. Now the one thing with this one is I didn't get to soak these plates. So there might be some stuff that's stuck on, but here's a trick. You can put the soapy water on the plate, put it back down on the counter, and wash something else for a minute. It really only takes a minute for a plate to soak in most instances. This has some food stuck on it too. So I'm going to let this soak right here. And once I'm done with this big glass jar, that plate will already be soaked. It'll already be softened. If you have food that's been stuck on there for a day, that might be different. But this is just from today. This was just from a couple hours ago. Actually, just more recent. If you wash your dishes right after you eat, you won't have a problem with food being stuck on. And now you saw this spoon, I just put it in here a minute ago. It's already softened up. Everything came off nice and clean. Now I'm going to take the sponge and stick it back in the water for the next person. This is if you live in a household with a family, with your family, or with roommates. It's a way that you can all save water together. And then I'm just going to rinse these and stick them in. Now there are already some dishes in the dish strainer, so I might have to move them a little bit and make some space. If there were a lot of dishes in there, I would have to remove the dishes before I could rinse these and stick them in. And once you have them all rinsed, you are done. You still want to clean the sink. The soap is going to stay here. I'm not going to remove it, but I'm still going to wipe around and make sure I'm not leaving a mess in the sink for the next person. Now, I'm looking, I don't see any food in here, so it's fine. If there was food, I would take responsibility for my food and throw it into the compost or the garbage, so I'm not leaving a mess for the next person who has to clean their dishes here. Okay, that is how we do the third technique.